Hi everyone, welcome back to our lecture for today. It's about achieving operational excellence and customer intimacy, enterprise applications. Enterprise application including enterprise system, customer relationship management system, supply chain management system. All these systems needed to support business processes of an enterprise from supplier to customer. In this chapter, we will discuss all aspects of enterprise application regarding ERP system, enterprise resource planning. We call also enterprise system. And after that, we will discuss supply chain management system and customer relationship management system. And finally, challenges face enterprise application. And finally, we will discuss how enterprise application used in platform for new functional services. Enterprise system is the core of the enterprise applications and has the main function to support the internal business processes of an organization. Supporting the business process in terms of automation, coordination, and management the processes along its flows across company's departments so that there is no need to exchange document or messages between the employees to conduct the activity of the business process. For instance, in a sale business process, a sale department don't need to inform the warehouse about the customer items and customer address for delivery. Once the sale order created in an ERP system, the warehouse is automatically informed and can pick and pack that items and deliver them to the given delivery address in the sale order. And once the items are delivered, financial department will be informed by the system and can send an invoice to the customer. All information about the sale process or sale processes are stored and can be used for further analysis to estimate, for example, the average of execution time of a sale processes in the last period or the cost caused by a specific sale process, and so the system can be improved in the future. The functions in an enterprise software package divided into function modules that represent function areas of different departments in an organization. Therefore, we consider an ERP system as modular structured system. An ERP system provides all possible business process scenarios that can be used in an industrial organization. These scenarios are driven from best practice solutions in the industry. To simplify the enterprise system implementation, companies use the business scenario which is built in the package's enterprise software as templates for implementing their own business processes. Customizing of the system includes selecting of business functions of different modules and mapping them to business process as well as configuration activities of hardware and software. So customizing means selecting functions of different function modules, mapping them to business process, and then configuration of activity of hardware and software. This phase can take 2 or 3 years of or more to introduce an ERP system, and it is very critical to success or fail any ERP project. This figure represents the main idea of ERP system. It is centralized or contains centralized database, which all data are stored in one database system-wide, and this database accessed by different departments. The department represented in an ERP system as functional modules. These modules contains different functions, and every functions can be executed by one or more employees. They are assigned to this function. The assigning of employee to function is already implemented in the customization of the ERP system. So any department can store or create data and also read data. So the sales department, for example, can create a sale order and store it in the centralized database, and from the database can be read from the warehouse department to deliver, for example, the items to the addressed customers. Here is the most important objectives why an organization implement an ERP system. First of all, to increase the operational efficiency, to reduce operational costs and increase its productivity, and also to provide firm-wide information to support decision making at operational level. For instance, if the to deliver items are not available in the warehouse, in this case, the company has to decide whether to start to produce or procure the items. So that is a kind of decision-making support, and also to enable rapid responses to customer requests for information or product, and that is normally a result of increased operational efficiency to short the execution time of any process, and also to include analytical tools to evaluate overall organizational performance. That is in form of analysis of business processes regarding execution time, cost, and other process quality criteria. This is the life cycle of an enterprise system, which is running over 3 phases, starting with the adoption decision phase. That is the decision-making phase. If an organization really need to implement an ERP system, it is required because of a business need, business partner, for example, using ERP system, and it is simplify the connection with the business partner to exchange data and information, or the business processes are become very complicated to be handled manually. So the decision making in this phase must be evaluated, and it's very important not just to follow the trend that many organizations already implemented ERP system, and we have to do the same. No, it's important that there's a need for deploy an ERP system. And the second phase is acquisition phase, selecting an ERP system, evaluate the vendors and the services provided by the vendors, and so on. And the third phase, and it is very critical one, it's to implement an ERP system by using customization activities to adapt and adopt an ERP system, and how the vendor can support the firm in this phase, or by uh, require a support from third party, for example, consultants firm, and so on. The operating phase is followed, and in this phase we have to manage and administrate the ERP system, and it's very important to implement hot packages supported by the vendors, and also to manage authorities of different users. There are specialized and qualified administrator to hire them, and to make them responsible for operating an ERP system. The evaluation phase is a phase to see the performance of an ERP system. It is matched with our expectation. It's fulfill our expectation or not. And in sometime we have to retire the ERP system, but not retire in a sense of delete it, but rather to get a new upgrade of the system, or to decide for another ERP system and other vendor. But it is difficult to do that because of financial loss that can be caused in this case. So it is very important for decision making to introduce an ERP system to calculate the cost of the system. It's not just hardware and software, but it's more than this. For example, human resources, employees, they need to be trained to operate with a new system, and it is in conjunction with high cost of training, and also sometimes to hire a new qualified employee. And the change management, when the business is changed, new business requirement needed to be adapted in the system. So in some time we need external consultants to support us to change the system to meet the new business requirement. And also vendor services, some vendors, it is very important to get vendor services while the system is operated, because they deliver some application services needed to support business processes, and it is in form of fees that have to be paid annually or monthly. That depends on the subscription fees. All of these factors have to be considered at the beginning of decision making to adopt an ERP system. The benefits of ERP systems are usually overestimated by ERP vendors. Such claims need to be evaluated and tested by organizations in order to verify them. Business performance can be seen as qualitative measures like financial gains or increasing of productions, which are easily to measure, while intangible gains as qualitative measures like satisfaction of customers or increasing of process qualities are hard to estimate. Anyway, qualitative measures combined with quantitative measures give a full picture of overall benefits of ERP systems to an organization. While ERP system is responsible for managing and execution of activities of business processes within an organization, supply chain management software is a type of enterprise software for managing processes outside the organization boundaries regarding complicated supply chains that may include thousands of suppliers. The supply chain is a network of organizations and processes for procuring raw material, that is, the upstream supply chains include all the supplier of raw materials, half-finished material, intermediate materials needed for an organization to transform them into products. And after the production, the firm distributes them over the downstream supply chain to reach the customer. This graphic illustrates the major entities in Nike's supply chain. It's divided into two supply streams. Upstream, containing all a layer of suppliers, and downstream in the direction of the customer. So in the upstream chain, we can see that stream starting from the tier 3, they could be a supplier of raw material that can be used in tier 2, and from tier 2 intermediate goods are produced for the contract supplier of Nike. And if this contract supplier finished with the production, Nike can start with its own production to deliver them downstream to distributors. So supply chain coordinates the information and the work between all involved organizations in the supply chain in upstream direction and downstream direction. It is very important for Nike as an organization to plan their production order in the right time, and also to follow their production from distributor to customer. Untimely information on supply chain can cause inefficiencies. Inefficiencies in a supply chain can be materials shortages, underutilized plant capacities, excessive finished goods inventory, and high transportation costs. These are caused by untimely information. Perfect information, or nearly perfect, can result in a just-in-time strategy where inventories and buffers are reduced to nearly zero. But because of the lack of timely information, manufacturers keep highly safety stock of materials in the inventory. Storing of huge amount of materials in the warehouses increases storage cost and binds capitals for a long time and can cause negative impact on the liquidity of a company. Bullwhip effect could happen in case of getting distorted information about produced demand as it passes from one entity to the next across the supply chain, which means overestimating of demand as it actually is. Now coming to the official definition of bullwhip effect. The bullwhip effect is an observed phenomena in forecast-driven distribution channels. It is just forecasting of the consumer demands. It refers to a trend of larger and larger swings in inventory in response to change in customer demand. As one looks at firms further back in the supply chain for a product, this figure shows us the problem of demand distortion in a supply chain, which increases as it moves back through the supply chain. It starts with a shift in consumer demand, which drives a response by retailers, then wholesalers, then manufacturer, then component supplier, then raw material suppliers. Supply chain management system has two functions, basically. The first one for planning the supply chain, and the other one to execute and manage running supply chains. So the activities belong to the planning part can include model existing supply chain, demand planning, optimize sourcing, manufacturing plans, establish inventories levels, identify transportation modes, and so on. And to execute the running supply chain, there are many activities to coordinate and manage the flow of the product along the supply chain. As you can see here in this figure, there are some department or function modules involved in the supply chain. They are connected over the network as intranet. Intranet, that is a local network that used in an organization, within an organization, to include other partner in the supply chain like supplier, customer, and retailers. They are also connected in so-called extranet. So extranet is extending of the intranet to include all entities involved in the supply chain process. And Many modules or departments are involved in the intranet. Uh, they are represented here, like order processing, procurement, uh, planning of production, or inventory. Because of globalization, today's industries relies heavily on outsourcing to contract manufacturers in China and other low-wage countries. Companies are starting to use the web to manage their global supply chain and production issues. Here are some examples of issues that can face global supply chain management. First, great geographical distances and time differences between countries. Complex cost and financial issues like local taxes, transportation means cost, currency change rates, etc., etc. Uh, an example for another issue is foreign government regulation regarding, for example, production qualities and environment regulation for raw materials, for example. All these issues have to be considered in the planning of the supply chain management system. A push model supply chain is one where expected demand is determined and pushing products to the downstream of a supply chain. For example, winter jackets get pushed to retailers as summer ends and winter season starts. Under push system, companies predict their supply chain since they know what will come and when, long before it actually arrives. This also allows them to plan production to meet their needs and gives them time to prepare a place to store the stock they receive. A pull strategy is related to the just-in-time strategy of inventory management that minimize stock of materials, and under this strategy, products delivered in the supply chain when customer demand confirm it. One example of an industry that operates under this strategy is a direct computer seller. A direct computer seller uh, waits until they receive uh, an order to actually build a custom computer for the consumer. With a pull strategy, companies avoid the cost of inventory that may not sell. The risk is that they might not have enough inventory to meet demand if they cannot increase the production quickly enough. But technically, every supply chain strategy is hybrid between the two. As you can see here in this figure, the differences between push-based model and pull-based model. The push-based model, you can see here the manufacturer push in the two direction, the production downstream, the direction to the customer, and upstream to supplier. While in pull-based model, the manufacturer is waiting till getting an order from the downstream direction. And in this case, manufacturer will begin to produce the production for the consumer. Um, as you can see here, this both models depends actually on the industry sector. For example, in mechanical engineering sector, to produce power plant, for example, to produce energy, they are using normally pull-based model. So they wait to get an order to build up a planet. It's expensive and need time for production, and in this case, a pull-based model is more fitted for such industry. But for example, for cloth industry or mass production industry, push model is more suitable for them. Business value of supply chain management systems can be seen as follows. First of all, to match supply to demand in order to achieve uh, reduction of inventory levels and to improve delivery service in order to get customer loyalty and to speed up the time from production to the market and using assets of an organization more effectively. I think these five objectives um, are the most important for an organization to implement supply chain management system. Now we will introduce the third type of the enterprise application, namely the CRM system. Customer relationship management systems provides a single place to consolidate and analyze data about the customer. A true CRM integrates corporate strategy, business methodology, and technology to achieve several goals for companies that want to operate in a customer-driven environment. No business nowadays can survive without understanding its customers and having a positive relationship with them. CRM provides support for the front-end customer-facing functionality like marketing, sales, and customer services, which are usually not available in a traditional ERP systems. We do this in order to capture and integrate customer data from overall in the organization and to consolidate and analyze customer data and also to distribute customer information to various systems and customer touch points across enterprise and finally to provide single enterprise view of the customers. As you can see in this figure, there are different department or function area in an organization. They are interested in customer data for a different activity and different objectives. For example, campaign management in the marketing is to generate a new customer or potential clients for the organization. Based on sale management has the activity to convert potential customers generated by campaign management into true customers. Service management provides ongoing support to the client and to assist in operation of the product or service purchase. Complaint management is to improve customer satisfaction by directly addressing the complaint of the customer and supporting a continuous improvement process with an organization to improve production quality and the business process. For example, CRM software ranges from niche tools to full-scale enterprise-wide applications. So there is no standard for all functionalities of a CRM. It could be small for targeted industry or comprehensive. For comprehensive CRM package, it contains modules for partner relationship management as PRM and employee relationship management ERM. PRM uses many of the same data tools and systems as customer relationship management to enhance collaboration between a company and its selling partners. If a company does not sell directly to the customers, but rather works together with distributors or retailers, PRM helps these channels to sell to customer directly. ERM software deals with employee issues that are closely related to CRM, such as setting objectives, employee performance management, performance-based compensations, and employee training. Salesforce automation modules in CRM systems help sales staff increase their productivity by focusing sales efforts on the most profitable customers, those who are good candidates for sales. CRM systems provide sales prospects and contact information, product configuration capabilities, and sale code generation capabilities. Such software can provide information about a particular customer's past purchase, the history of the customer, and his behavior to help the sales personnel to make personalized recommendations for the customer. The term prospect is a qualified and interested individual who has demonstrating the willing to make a purchase decision. For customer service modules in CRM systems, provide information and tools to increase the efficiency of call centers, help desks, and the customer support staff. They have capabilities for assigning and managing customer service requests. CRM systems support direct marketing campaigns by providing capabilities for capturing prospects and customer data for providing products and services, and for scheduling also and tracking direct marketing, mailing, or emailing. Marketing modules also include tools for analyzing marketing and customer data, and also to identify profitable and unprofitable customers, and also to design products and service to satisfy specific customer needs and interests, and also to identify opportunities for cross-selling. In marketing, cross-selling is a sales strategy that can be implemented at relatively low cost. Here, customers who have already purchased a product or service should be motivated to purchase additional product or service. As you can see in this graphic, range of function included in the sale, marketing, and service modules in a traditional CRM system. CRM software is business process driven, incorporating hundreds of business processes to represent best practices in each of these areas. To achieve maximum benefits, companies need to revise and construct their business processes to conform to the best practice business processes in the CRM software. Here is an example of best practice process provided by CRM system. In this graphic, we can see the best practice for increasing customer loyalty through customer service. There are two main function areas of CRM software: operational and analytical CRM. The operational functions support automation of CRM processes, like supporting sales staff during customer meeting to deliver them with the needed information for the sale process, or to conduct customer service and marketing automation. Analytical CRM has the functionalities to analyze customer data produced by operational CRM. Customer data are stored in extra database called data warehouse for analyzing historical customer data. This graphic illustrates the main components of analytical CRM. Data is captured from various channels and fed into a customer data warehouse, where OLAP, or data mining, and other analysis tools support to identify profitable customers, churn analysis, and other kind of customer analysis. Business value of CRM, that is a list of all objectives that should be achieved when an organization implements a CRM system. First, to increase customer satisfaction, and through this achieve also customer loyalty, to reduce direct marketing costs, to make marketing more efficient, to reach lower costs for customer acquisition and retention, and also to increase sale revenue, and reduce also churn rate of the customer who stop using or purchasing products or service from a company. We do this by trying to retain them, by providing offers, attractive offers with good prices and a product with high quality, for example. Enterprise applications nowadays delivered from the vendors as packages, so including ERP systems, CRM systems, supply chain management systems, to be integrated, to easily integrated, and also to integrate supplier and customer systems. And they supported with a range of tools, like utilizing of web services through deploy service-oriented architecture, using open source solutions and on-demand solution, and also Mobile compatible for mobile application, for example, to synchronize data and to use Web 2 capabilities for web application. Enterprise Suite is a package of enterprise applications that integrate data, processes, and functions for business areas such as finance, sales, and human resources, as well as industry-specific functions. The Enterprise Suite is designed to help companies make their business process more efficient, keep costs down, and open up new market opportunities. Portal is platform independent and supports web services, business applications, and standard-based development, enabling the user to leverage existing technology assets for web service-oriented solutions that mean service-oriented architecture. Portal is a graphical user interface and use single sign-on where users are allowed access to multiple systems like enterprise applications based on an initial authentication. Once you put in your username and password, the portal provides you with all functions assigned to your user profile from all enterprise applications in a seamless, standardized layout. This graphic shows us the structure of the order-to-cash service platform, which integrates data and processes from existing systems. This process begins with lead generation, marketing campaigns, and order entry, which are typically supported by CRM systems, customer relationship management systems. Once the order is received, manufacturing is scheduled and materials availability is verified, processes that are usually supported by enterprise software, ERP systems. The order then is handled by processes for distribution planning, warehousing, order fulfillment, and shipping, which are usually supported by supply chain management systems. Finally, the invoice sent to the customer, which is handled by enterprise financial applications. And if the purchase at some point requires customer service, customer relationship management system would be used for interacting the customer for support. We are at the end of our lecture for today. I hope you understood the main functions and components and objectives of each enterprise system. Good luck and see you next week.